What is happening in Sudan is a tragedy, and it is not known enough, in fact, by the general public, let alone in the centers of decision making, be they global or regional. It needs to be put on the agenda squarely. And fundamentally, the toll on civilian populations should be better understood and be at the center of any efforts at the resolution of conflict. Now, I think what also is happening is clearly a struggle for power. We don't see a vision, an alternative vision for governance being put on the table that is requiring the use of force to then change, let's say, how a diverse population in a geostrategic location of great importance and significance can be governed in a way that benefits the Sudanese people. On the contrary, we don't see that. We see the brute use of force and the desire to maintain or monopolize power, economic, military, and political, in that order. Not, again, in the interest of the Sudanese people, nor in the interest of the building up of the state. What does that mean then for the peaceful resolution of the conflict? It means that it's harder or increasingly more difficult for any mediation efforts that's focused on solely the belligerents, who are not presenting an alternative vision, to really craft then an agreement beyond purely that, power. And so, to your second question, on what can the international community do, and I would include the region in that, in international, both immediate and more broadly region, I think is to put an emphasis on momentum around the political. The need to absolutely bring an end to the destructive use of force to ensure the protection of civilians, to maintain and protect the territorial integrity of the state, but furthermore, to ensure that parallel processes, which are not bad in and of themselves, but parallel processes are not tripping on one another. From a timing-wise, from a content-wise, from a positioning-wise, or an influencing-wise, the emphasis on complementarity and understanding where and who has the most leverage to bring not only the main belligerents to the party, but to create that enabling environment for the Sudanese people themselves to determine their future. But it's going to be a long road, and I think where the international community can be most helpful is the accompaniment not only of the recovery efforts, the bringing of the end of war, the recovery required immediately thereafter, and the post-conflict reconstruction that will need to be sourced. This has been a horrific episode in the evolution of the Sudanese state and for its people. And more cooperation, not less, will be needed moving forward. Thank you.